Is I feel like for a lot of you, you were dealing with someone who's very childish, and like every time I see a lot of game playing with this other person, and I feel like this is the month in which you might have a conversation, a discussion with them regarding their behavior. I feel the other party is like very evasive, or they might try to play it off and, tell you that, oh, you're being too serious, I didn't mean anything by it, and I feel like you're telling somebody off. And I was getting a very similar energy with Virgos as well. I feel like Capricorns have done it in the past where they told somebody off, or Capricorns just, withdraw. They don't really confront the other person. But I feel like for Taurus and Virgos, you might be confrontational. You might tell the other person, give them a piece of your mind, because you feel like their behavior has been very, very immature. For others of you who are dealing with this energy as like children coming out, there's some discipline coming through from your end towards the children that are in your midst. You might be a teacher. You might just have children of your own. You might be dealing with other people's children. And I feel that you're educating these kids, or at least you're being very stern and very firm when these children are not behaving in a favorable light, or when they should know better. So I definitely feel that you're dealing with somebody, you're telling them you should know better, and I feel that they're feeling very ashamed as a result of it. So whatever the situation is, there is some discussion, and I feel you're doing a lot of the talking, and you're giving the other person your 2 cents, okay? And I feel like this is something that you've wanted to say for quite some time. So I feel that I'm glad you're getting it off your chest, okay? What else is coming through is, once again, similar energy to Capricorn. I feel like for a lot of you, you're waiting on some official documents. You're waiting on some letter. You're waiting on some communication. And I feel like these are like through official channels. I see like paper. I see like something typed out. So it's not like a handwritten letter. It's more like printed out, so it leads me to believe it's like official documents. You're waiting on some type of very important communication. For others of you, I feel like there might be some I feel like wanting to purchase a property, wanting to purchase a house, wanting to find a place for you and your significant other, or life partner or something like that, wanting to find a place where you both can live together. I see people like pulling in their resources, and I feel that in the process of potentially pulling in your resources, you are going to have to, like, you and your partner both have to mature and handle responsibilities as a unit, and you can no longer tolerate, or you can no longer, accept I guess like frivolous spending, like immature financial arrangements, okay? So this is going to be a very serious month, I feel, when it comes to the whole maturation process, when it comes to taking the next step, when it comes to not tolerating BS from other people. And you are a very, very patient sign. And a lot of the times, people say Taurus are very stubborn, but what I feel is like you are very tolerant of other people. It takes a lot for them to push you towards the brink where you give them a piece of your mind. So I feel like this is the month in which I don't feel you're exploding at other people, but I do feel that you're putting people in their place, and you're telling them what's acceptable and what's not. And I feel like there is some immature energy around you that you can no longer put up with. But I do feel that you are telling them off in a calm manner. And I do feel that you're doing it because you believe that it's something that they need to know, because it's going to be much better for their, their development, okay? So actually, let me just rearrange very quickly, and then we'll go into your reading. I do feel communication coming through once again by the end of this month, okay? It might be like the past, I'm sorry, not the past, the last few days of this month, dragging into the communication, news coming through, official letters and things like that. Possibly the very tail end of this month, and moving on towards pulling of resources coming through here. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. And the Five of Pentacles, I'm going to relay the first message that I'm feeling here. I feel that a lot of you are trying to work together as a unit and pulling your resources together. So this could be a significant other, like a love relationship, or even pulling your finances with another person in order to, get a project off the ground, get a business started, or getting something started. I do feel that at this point, a lot of you might be feeling as if you're short on finances. You feel like you might not have enough to either purchase a property, I'm feeling like, or start that business, or even, purchase, or even like start up something. You have planned something and you're trying to implement it, and you're trying to like pool your resources to get it off the ground. You're reaching the point where you feel as if you might not have enough money in order to do that. So a lot of you might be looking at a lending institution in order for you to procure more finances to get the project off the ground. You might be seeing a financial consultant. You might also be talking to a lawyer, or like a mortgage officer, a loan officer, in order to get, some paperwork started. You're seeking somebody for help in order to get this financial situation, churning along in the way that you'd like. The other side of this is the Five of Pentacles indicate some type of a, I guess, like financial crisis. The other cards don't indicate to me a financial crisis. I just feel that you and another person might be pooling your resources to start something new. It's not that you're struggling, but it can also indicate like, falling short in finances, and finances not panning out the way that we'd hope, okay? But you're being helped here by either a consultant or somebody's coming in order to help you. What I'm also feeling is, I do feel for a lot of you, you are dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. I do feel that this is a very karmic relationship, and I feel it is a negative karmic relationship. It has been very problematic. I feel that both of you have adequately learned your lessons from one another. And I do feel that it is time for you both to basically, move on ahead. I feel this might be the person that you're telling off. And I do feel that this is a situation where you're getting a lot of signs and signals that they might not have been faithful. And you stuck with it because I actually don't know. There are a myriad of reasons why you stuck with it, but it might be financial considerations that is keeping you very stuck in this relationship, okay? So I do feel some period of reassessment in a major relationship if you're dealing with an air sign. So they themselves could be re-examine this relationship. I feel if you are dealing with an air sign, they might have the wandering eyes. They might be a social butterfly. They might be looking outside of the relationship. So I feel like there is some major reassessment in a significant karmic relationship coming through, okay? I feel as well they might be draining your resources. I feel like they might be draining your resources, like your financial resources in some way. If it's not a romantic partner, I feel there is some type of a financial drain coming through as a result. Okay, what I'm feeling is this as well, and I'm going to talk about this because this is something that just came through. I feel like if you are a Taurian person that is in a marriage situation or in a long established relationship, and you're stepping out on your significant other with an air sign, okay? And you have like a Mr. or a Mrs. on the side. The Mr. or the Mrs. is proving to be a little bit more demanding, and they are creating a huge major drain on your financial situation. So you might secretly have two homes, like one for your significant other and one for the other person on the side. And I feel that it is creating like, it's kind of like, life's irony. They are draining your resources. So you might want to reassess. Okay, so that's the message I was getting for people that are like somehow financing a Mr. or a mistress on the side outside of your stable, significant relationship. All right. So that can be, it's not going to apply for all, but I feel like it's serves as a warning to you. Okay, actions and consequences. So be very careful, and I feel like it's best for you to cut this person loose. All right, so what's coming through next is we have the Prince of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. So in terms of your emotional soul development, and I saw these and I got the message that, you know, about the Mr. or the Mrs. Because the High Priestess is usually like concealment. And the Prince of Pentacles is usually like, this is an earth sign. You are offering something to another person, and somehow you are concealing some type of information, or they themselves are concealing some type of information from you. I feel like if you are pooling your resources with another person, you need to be very, very clear about the terms of the contract, the terms of the agreement. If you have, or if you are signing contracts, you want to make sure they uphold their end of the bargain, and make sure you read the fine print, because I feel like you're putting everything, you know, that you have out there, but the other person, and it doesn't matter their sign, I feel like you're putting everything on the line, and the other person might be hiding something from you in terms of how much financial resources they can front to get some type of project up and running. Okay, this is a good month for you to sign and finalize some projects, but I do want you to reassess to make sure that the other person is honest and truthful about all the information that they're giving you. I feel some type of concealment, and I do feel that it is important for you, if you're purchasing a big ticket item, to read the fine print, cover yourself with, you know, I guess like cover your bases by being very thorough, scan thoroughly, like thoroughly scan the legal documents, okay? So that's what I'm sensing here, and I do feel that there is some type of a, it's almost like you're offering something up and the other person wants more. It's like they want more. And I do feel this might pertain to some type of a blackmail situation, whether it's like with a Mr. or Mrs., or with a work associate. So some type of demands. People are making demands on you, and I feel like you're offering it up. You're giving in to their demands, but I don't feel like it's fair for you to do that. Okay, so just make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. So I feel like finances are not a problem. It's just where the finances are being diverted. That might be the problem for you. So just, you know, protect yourself accordingly. Okay, make sure you're dealing with righteous people. So we have here the King of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So first off, the Ace of Pentacles indicates a new revenue stream. This is also a new job. For those of you who have been looking for work in the past, I would say for some reason I was getting like 6 months. You have a new job coming through, and it is going to be a really, really good job, possibly a supervisory position or some very lucrative work assignment that might require a little bit of travel. I do feel that you are in a position where the the supervisor or the manager that you are working under, they have a lot of creative ideas. They really trust you. And I feel that it is really in your best interest to try to impress this person, okay? I feel that they are testing you out to see what kind of energy you can bring to the table or to the work environment. So it is really important for you not to be modest. Hype up your skills, hype up your assets, because I feel like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's a new job, it's a new revenue stream, it's a new location possibly for a lot of you. So if you've been, you know, wanting that job for or looking for work, and you've been worried about your finances, I definitely feel this is a turnaround month for a lot of you. On the other hand, what I'm sensing is if you are looking for some type of loan, financial assistance, financier, some type of you know, financial backing as well, I do feel that you are going to have to impress some people. I see you in a room. You want to win a contract, or you want to win some type of an investment opportunity, or you're trying to win over some investors and financier. You might have something on the table like an invention. You might have something that you've worked very diligently on, and it was like your love child. And I feel like a lot of you might have made a lot of sacrifices in order to improve this one invention or this one product. And you're in a room and you're meeting with a lot of like high power, inventors or backers, financial backers, and you are in a position where you have to please them. So I feel that it is really important for you to hype up your assets and don't be modest, okay? Go all out, be bold, and you are going to win that lucrative assignment that you've been eyeing. Now, in terms of spiritual development, we do have the Death card and the Prince of Cups. Whatever the financial situation is, I do feel it is turning around for the better. So we do have an offer coming through, and I do feel this can be in love, or this can be on a material, in a soul level. If whatever you've been worried about, I do feel there is some type of an offer coming through for you. I also feel that this is a life-changing event as well. And it's interesting, I got the same message for Capricorns. I feel some major, major breakthroughs that they were waiting on, some major contract, some major, a very important decision that they're waiting on. And it's going to cause some major transformations in their own life. So I feel like it might be an earth sign thing. I wasn't getting it so much for Virgo, but I feel like for Capricorns and also for you guys, this is coming in and it's going to be a game changer, okay? Something in your life is being changed for good. Additionally, if you have been dealing with a water sign, so this is like love offer coming through. If you've been dealing with a water sign, and specifically Scorpio comes up very strongly, I do feel that there is some transformation in that relationship. So Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio coming in quite strongly with the Death card. I definitely see some transformation where you both might part ways, or you both might, change the way you relate to one another. I feel like one party growing up and taking care of responsibilities, or handling themselves a little bit better because you had to tell them. And I do feel that somebody is, growing up and taking responsibilities and vowing to do something differently. Okay, if you're dealing with an air, I'm sorry, a water sign. So I do feel some major transformation in a significant relationship coming through as a result. And it can be total, totally like abandoning projects, cutting your losses, or it could be transformation and working together as a unit and becoming better people as a result. I feel that the maturation process is coming through mutually, but I feel like more so from the other person's end, okay? So very good cards overall, Taurus. So let me see your advice for this month. Okay, so one of the main things is I am taken back to that whole Mr., Mrs., Mistress situation, okay? This is a card about an empty victory. So this is like a swift victory or an empty victory, depending on if it's upright or reversed. So first of all, we do have a situation here that is telling me that you want to be very, very patient, okay? And it's basically a situation where I feel like it might be a significant love relationship. And if you have been dealing with a lot of like disappointment, if you are going around, like for example, if you're an inventor or a writer, you're going around showing people your manuscript, showing people your invention, you're hoping to get some type of financial backing, you're trying to get like some business proposal off the ground. And it's telling me basically to be very, very patient, because there is going to be a major breakthrough. So don't give up. Keep at it, have faith in it, and it will pan out the way that you'd hope. I do feel that you're dealing with people that might tell you to make some last minute changes, or to, tweak an invention, a book, a manuscript, something like that, so that it can be in alignment with what basically sells. I do feel that you might not want to do this, but it is in your best interest to make those necessary changes, because they do have very, very good advice that they're giving you, okay? So if that pertains to you, just go with the flow and, do whatever is asked of you, because I do sense that they know what they're talking about, okay? You might not be too thrilled about doing that. What I'm also feeling as well is it seems to me almost as if, for those of you who are single and looking, you're kind of anxious to start new things and like new relationships. And I am just going to, say this, and obviously it's not going to apply for all of you, but I feel like for a lot of you, you're kind of like looking in the wrong areas when it comes to love. Okay, you value the wrong things, and you choose partners that are not stable. Like I feel, yeah, I just can't stress that enough. I feel like you're choosing, you're emphasizing the wrong things, or your emphasis, your requirements for a partner. It needs to be fine-tuned. It needs to be refined so that you're not attracting the wrong people, or you're not letting the wrong people into your life. Okay. So I do feel some type of a rumination happening for you, where you are drawing inward and you're trying to decide, like, what did I do wrong? Why am I attracting the wrong kinds of people? So I feel some sadness, some grief associated with the dating front, like disappointment on the dating front. So my advice is this: write down a list of the qualities that you need in a partner in order to make you happy. Okay? I do feel that there might have been some situation where you were valuing somebody for the fun that they can bring into your life. And when you're using that kind of criteria, of course, you can't rely on another person to bring fun and excitement into your life. You're supposed to have fun and excitement on your own. You're supposed to be whole on your own in order to attract the right relationship partner. So I feel like in the past, it might have been like you might have attracted somebody that had a very big ego, that made the relationship all about them. They might have been very seductive. They might have been very attractive, very seductive. And they had you like wrapped around their fingers. That's what I'm feeling. And it was fun while it lasted, but you realize that you ended up very emotionally depleted, okay? And just unfulfilled. I do feel for a lot of you, you were dealing with a lot of, I'm going to say this, like just selfish people, like a relationship partner that was very, very selfish. You gave them everything, but I feel that they held back. And I feel like it might be on the financial front. They either held back their assets, they swirled away money, they might have held back on their assets, or they might have held back on their affection, and you felt depleted. Okay, for those of you with, the Mr. or the Mrs., or those of you that have willingly put yourself in a position where you were the Mr. or the Mrs., I feel this is the month in which you're starting to realize that you are not emotionally fulfilled, and you are checking yourself physically, emotionally, you're cutting off ties, and you're no longer playing third party, which is great. And I hope that, you come to that realization as well sooner rather than later in the future. Third party relationships are never going to work out. Somebody always ends up feeling emotionally depleted, and it is usually the third wheel, like the Mr. or the mistress. All right, so just keep that in mind. So my advice here is cut your losses, move on, because you are ending up in a situation where you are very emotionally depleted. One last thing before we end this, I feel that for a lot of you, I feel like you are encountering a situation where you have to rehearse what you need to say. You're dealing with very, very, the energy around you. I feel that you're under a lot of scrutiny. I feel like you're under a lot of pressure. The people are very intellectual and very like unemotional. So you're not going to get by with an emotional speech or an emotional appeal. You are going to get by if you know what you're talking about, if you have like thorough knowledge of a certain topic, okay? So I feel like that sense of coming into terms with the fact that, okay, these are the areas in my mental development that I need to work on. So I'm going to focus, the next 4 months, 4 years, and things like that on that aspect. So I feel like coming into our own sense of like what we need to work on, how we can improve ourselves so that we are better people. What's in store for Taurus for love, relationship, and romance? Love, relationships, and romance for Taurus. Okay, this one wants to come out. So we've got the Four of Cups again. I'm sorry, this is the Five of Cups, not the Four of Cups. Okay, so Taurus, for those of you who are like thinking about ending a relationship, I feel that, you know, just sever the ties and don't look back, okay? Because you've been thinking about this for quite some time, and I feel even like 3 years, possibly even. 3 months, 3 years, you've been thinking about it for quite some time. Your needs are not emotionally like met in the relationship, and I feel like it's heading towards an inevitable decline, towards an inevitable end. So it's best for you to move on past it and just go with new energies, okay? Yeah, I definitely feel there is somebody draining your resources here. So let me just pull out, let's see, what you're waiting on. So I'm going to pull out one last card for the Three of Wands, and then we'll go into your reading. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about the Three of Wands first. Actually, let me see here. What's the best way to organize this? Okay, so for a lot of you, something is coming to an end. Okay, this is a relationship that wasn't working. This is something that like I feel for a lot of you, you have recently you were dating a lot of people in the past. You're narrowing down your options. So I feel like something is coming to an end. Either bachelorhood, either, you know, just like dating casually, and then waiting, like, you know, making some type of a gesture to another person that you want to see them exclusively. So I feel like your bachelorhood, you know, male or female, is coming to an end because you have met somebody that you really care about, and you are trying to solidify something with them. Others of you, I feel that you are also coming to the point where you are starting to date again. And I feel like you're waiting, waiting, waiting. You've been waiting for some time for the person to come into your life and to drop on your lap or to cross paths with them. And I feel like as a result of it, you're tired of waiting and you are putting yourself out there in order to, you know, attract other people. So I would say that in that case, you would be considered like a single person. And you have some very strong energies here that will attract the right person. You have a very strong water sign coming through. This is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and the energy is very, very stable. It is somebody who is nurturing, caring, very, very loving. I do feel, so I pulled out a spread here just to see what's going on. So on the one hand, if this is a brand new person, this really is going to be very stable. It bodes well for longevity and it bodes well for a long-term commitment, okay? And I feel like water signs and earth signs tend to be a very good match. Especially like Taurus, Scorpio combinations, there is very strong sexual attraction. So this can be, you know, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. I do feel that there is somebody that is in your midst making a strong declaration towards you. And I do feel that you yourself might be making a declaration towards another person that you want to date them exclusively, okay? So coming through for singles, we also do have a pentacle suit. So this is another earth sign that you are potentially dealing with. There are some innate differences in opinions and things like that coming through from this earth sign. A lot of you might be, leaving this earth sign to be with the water sign because you realize it's a better fit. And the earth signs are another Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It's a younger energy. It seems like they're less mature. It seems as if they are not financially stable, or it seems almost as if they are very frivolous, irresponsible when it comes to their spending. Okay, so another earth sign here, sun sign, sun, moon, or rising. Um, the other side of the coin is if you are a third party, if you are dealing with a water sign that is in a relationship already, I do feel that you're cutting things off for good and they are dragging you back, like they're contacting you, wanting you back, okay? If you are in if you are like the mister or the mistress to a third part, to like another relationship, and you're dealing with an air sign, I do feel air sign are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. I do feel some secrets coming to light, so you want to be very careful. So if you are, like wedging yourself in between this relationship where you're either dealing with a water sign, an air sign, some secrets are getting revealed and somebody is cutting somebody off, like somebody's severing ties. And I do feel that it's not going to be easy for you to extract yourself because they're going to demand that you come back. But I do feel it is best for you. Some secrets coming to light. There might be confrontation. There might be struggles. Okay. So protect yourself accordingly if this is the case you're dealing with specifically. What I'm feeling as well for a lot of you, you're still in a relationship. Okay. If you're still in a relationship, I feel almost like, let me see. Okay, so I feel like you're in a very untenable situation where you were giving. Okay, so I feel like either one party is giving a lot and the other person is kind of like very just very unstable, unreliable. They say they're going to do things, but they don't follow through. So a lot of you will have a major discussion about that situation. If you are dealing with some type of, child custody issue with a significant other and you're in a relationship with them where you have children or you are ending a relationship with them, I definitely feel some resolution coming. Things are definitely coming to an end. There is some sadness and grief associated with it as well because we do have here the Five of Cups. But I do feel that you will overcome it because there's something new on the horizon. If you are involved with somebody who's married, who is, on the last leg, and they tell you they're going to divorce, or they tell you they're going to like, so if you are dealing with someone who tells you, who's like going through separation, who's going through divorce, their divorce situation is also going to finalize, okay? So that goes one way. It doesn't mean vice versa to me. I'm not getting that this time. If you were dealing with or are dealing with somebody who's going through separation or divorce, their divorce is being finalized as well. So you are starting a new phase in your life. I feel like this was a main topic of contention in the past where you're asking them, when is it going to end? When is it going to be over? What's the holdup? So that we can start our relationship. And they were feeding you a lot of excuses. And this time you basically put your foot down and you tell them, give me the divorce or give me the separation and move out so that we can continue our relationship. Otherwise, I'm going to move away from this. And I feel as a result of it, they're coming back in and they're telling you, okay, here are the results. I'm finally extracting myself from that situation so that we can start our relationship. So overall, it looks to me to be very good. Whatever I see, like this 180 turnaround in your love relationship, and it seems to me to be very positive. Whatever needed to end was going to end because we have here the Ten of Swords, and this is not a situation that you can come back to. I feel like somebody did you wrong, and I feel like this this is not a revelation. This is not something that came to light this month. This has been an ongoing issue where, somebody was taking someone for granted. and somebody was like stepping out of the relationship as well. This is the backstabbing card. And this is basically, you know, feeling that emotional pain. And I feel like for a lot of you, you put it up with it. And then this is the month in which you put your foot down and you're no longer tolerant of other people putting you in this type of a situation, okay? So you're overcoming oppression. You're overcoming addiction. You're overcoming unhealthy relationships. You are dividing your time, for those who are single, between dating many, many people. And I feel that this is the month in which you solidify some of the choices. You're narrowing down some of the choices because you have somebody in your midst, potentially in a water sign, that is showing you the right way to love, that is showing you, you know, this is what commitment, this is what a healthy relationship looks like. So as a result of it, you're narrowing down some options, okay? So overall, very good energy coming through for you, Taurus. I'll be back for the mid-month reading, okay? So I'll talk to you then. And if you'd like a private reading, please contact me um, or visit my website first, and you can see the my availability and things like that, all right? Or you can contact me at temperatestar@gmail.com. I am booked currently.